Well, it's all eyes on the tunnel away to our left-hand side as the music kicks up and the atmosphere just starts to build, because remember, these Red Star supporters, 50,000 of them, are yet to see their players as they come out now side by side, and wow, just look at that. Everywhere around the stadium someone is holding pieces of either silver foil or red plastic above their heads. I haven't got a clue what it says because it's all in Cyrillic. We'll try and get it translated for you, but that is some sight here inside the stadium in Belgrade. The only exception is the 1,000 Liverpool fans away to our right, who are caged in halfway up away towards our right hand side. A cacophony of noise in Belgrade. Some welcome, Pat Nevin.
It's quite a wild moment, isn't it? Often you see, these signs that are, put on the seats and they're put up and they look okay, and most of the people do it. They're all doing it. It's completely brilliant. It's covered. It looks quite spectacular. Very old school as well, kind of Soviet in its way as well. But it is impressive. The noise is fantastic. This will lead to them believing a little bit.
The noise, well, you can hear it for yourself. It's a bowl-like arena. We have the athletics track, so the supporters are some distance away from the playing surface, and there is the Champions League anthem. But the Red Star supporters are just singing, and still they're holding those bits of foil above their head. I was told it was going to be special, the choreography from the Red Star supporters, and they certainly haven't disappointed.
It's kind of a bit of a shame in some ways, because the cameras that are here, they've been focusing on the players, because Champions League, that's what they do. They're set to what they have to stick to while that Champions League music is on. That's not where the story is here for the cameramen. It's round the stadium because it looks brilliant. And by the way, they've still not put those flags down yet, haven't they?
Well, the team news, if you haven't heard us already say, 3 changes from the side that played Arsenal at the weekend. Sturridge, who has scored in his last 3 European starts, replaces Firmino. Matip for Gomez, and Lallana comes in for Fabinho. So Alisson is in goal. It's a back 4 of Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Matip and Robertson. Midfield 3 of Lallana, Wijnaldum and Milner. And then you've got Salah, Sturridge and Mane. Red Star have made 4 changes, and still the Red Star choreography goes on, and still they sing. And the 4 changes from when they met at Anfield a fortnight ago. Savic, the captain, returns for Babic in the heart of their defence. Rodic replaces Gobelic as a left back. The other 2 changes, Ivancic comes in for Bilsinho and Pavkov for the injured Bayake. So the team is Bojan in goal, Stojkovic, Degenek, Savic and Rodic the defence, Kristicic and Ivancic in the midfield, Ben, Cernic and Marko Marin, formerly of Chelsea, in behind Milan Pavkov. So it's a 4-2-3-1 formation from Red Star Belgrade, who are in their red and white striped shirts, and Liverpool are in the change outfit of all purple. Pat.
Yeah, and again, we've been looking forward to for quite some time. I mentioned to Kelly right at the top of the show that this is a team that were hammered by Liverpool, they've been hammered by PSG, but those were games that were not played in this stadium in these circumstances, with this atmosphere and the build-up that they've had as well. They've not shut up since we've started talking, and it's brilliant. The noise is great, and you often have to talk. These are many fans around the world to lift, those banners or those pieces of silver foil. You're going to have to talk them into putting them down eventually, because they're waving them about. And this is actually getting louder.
I was just going to say, it is getting louder. And do you know what it says in Cyrillic? It says, "Let the struggle be continuous." Well, if this is a struggle with these supporters behind you, then they will feel like 10 feet tall. And in the programme, the chairman said, his programme notes were as follows: with your support, our 11 fighters can achieve anything on the pitch. We didn't even hear the referee's whistle, but we are underway, and only now are those bits of foil. Only some of them are being placed by their sides. For the majority inside this stadium, as now the firecrackers and the flags are flying, they're still being waved above their heads. But we are underway, so we'll try, through this din, focus on the football. There is no substitute for being live. And we're live on 5 Live here in Belgrade, as Liverpool have an early opportunity with Salah to the edge of the area. He crosses the ball. Mane is there. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Robertson works over the cross, and that was blocked by Ben, and it goes out for a throw.
I don't know if these fans have actually noticed this yet, Ian, but the defence is a bit of a mess. And Liverpool could have scored already. Great position there for Salah, who would usually have played in either Sturridge or his mate up there, Sadio Mane. He didn't manage to do so, but they need to tighten up.
They're still going. Fervent doesn't do it justice. It really doesn't.
Do you know, it's a joy to see some of the Liverpool fans trying to have an effect back. They're getting slightly lost in there, are they not? They're caged in between two large pieces of net, and they look actually very quiet at the moment.
Red Star are playing from left to right as we look. Liverpool and the purple are playing from right to left. This is 5 Live. All of a sudden Red Star will come forward on this near side, the right, and the cross is low, cleared away by Matty. They want it quickly. Can you imagine what this place will be like if Red Star were to score? Stojkovic is going to take a throw. They're jumping up and down away to our left-hand side. In comes the throw. 6 yards out. Goes behind for a corner kick. Liverpool had it covered.
Well, that noise just for a corner kick and the throw in before just tells you something. This is some of the best noise I've ever heard at a football match in my life. It is absolutely extraordinary.
I think our producer Juliet Farrington has recorded it. We'll try and get that on the 5 Live social media page for you. Corner kick comes in. It's an outswinger, headed away by Van Dijk, prodded back goalwards, and that's going to go wide. I would agree with you, Pat. That Maximir Stadium in '98, Newcastle against Croatia Zagreb, as they were then, was special. The Inonu Stadium, Besiktas, would also be up there. But I think this place and these supporters have topped the lot from my 22 years of covering European football. It is some atmosphere. Stojkovic goes down long over the top. He was looking for the run of Cernic with his short dark hair. Little flick back then by Kristicic, played up. Robertson is tucked in. Liverpool, of course, runners-up in the Champions League last season, will use their experience to try and quieten this crowd as a Liverpool player is down.
And that's using Sturridge from here.
Sturridge.
Yeah, I think it is. Daniel Sturridge has gone down there. Doesn't seem to be a huge amount on it. He twisted round there. He's getting up to his feet rather gingerly, but I think he'll actually be okay just now. Anyway, it is quite astonishing the noise that we're hearing in here, and this is a team that obviously they're cruising in their own home league for the domestic situation. They're cruising at that one, but these people know, these fans know that the players need all the help they can, because player for player they're nowhere near as good as Liverpool.
No, but they are a different proposition, as Kelly alluded to you. I mean, they've been suffered a heavy defeat at Anfield 2 weeks ago. They lost 6-1 against Paris Saint-Germain. So they've conceded 10 in their last 2 in the Champions League, but away from home, different proposition. Ball scooped forward by Marin. Cushion header by Van Dijk, cleared by Robertson, left-hand side. We are on the red button tonight, not just for this game, but also, more importantly, later on when the other scores, you'll be able to really see in full that 5 Live final score graphic, the video printer through the red button, or indeed the BBC Sport website, or the app later on. Ball played forward. That was by the number 9, Pavkov, who's tall and lean with his short dark hair. The referee, who's from Spain, is going to show a yellow card here, I think, to Marco Marin, is he? He's certainly having a word with the German.
I think he went to his pocket, so it was on his mounted, but I think the yellow's still in his hand. Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say, you can still see the yellow card in his hand.
Do you know, that was, if I can be heard for a moment, that was one of those, just before that happened, there have been 2 or 3 tackles that had flown in, and I'm thinking, yeah, you want to lift their players, but they need to keep a lid on it as well, because they were getting too wrapped up in the tackles. Just a few moments before that, Rodic had gone in far too heavy over on Salah on the left hand side. Sturridge had taken a hit as well, and as you say, Marin, I think it was, who then put the third one in. That was all in the space of 30 seconds, so yes, they need to be up for it, but it needs to be controlled from these Red Star players.
Antonio Lahoz, who is the Spanish referee, took charge of Liverpool's second leg of the quarter-final against Manchester City last season. He's shown an early yellow card, didn't go down particularly well. He, like the Liverpool team, when they came out to warm up, the officials were roundly booed by these Red Star supporters as well, live here in Belgrade for this early kick-off, which is the last of the staggered kick-offs affecting the English sides on match day 4. We've had a few. Tottenham at Inter, Manchester City at Hoffenheim, Spurs then as well when they played PSV in the return match. We've got commentary as well for you with this doubleheader on Radio 5 Live from Wembley later on. That's where Kelly is. There's Red Star Belgrade, driven low up towards Ben. Ben brings it down off the chest. He was pulled from behind there by Robertson. Free kick. Ben Alfardo, who's a Comoros international. It's a far cry from the southeast coast of Africa here in Belgrade on a chilly evening for what has been a glorious day. About 21 degrees during the day. The sun was out. The Liverpool supporters, 1,000 of them, who are now wrapped up, and in fact some more have arrived quite late on, because that end that was caged in away to our right now is being filled up in the bottom half of that section to our right hand side. Heavy police presence as the Red Star supporters jump up and down, bouncing all the way around this bowl-like arena. And what a din they create. 0-0, 7 minutes played. Throw comes in over on that far side. Downward header, knocked forward by Lallana. Salah gives chase, cut out of play, kept in play, and then eventually hammered downfield by Rodic. But it will drift now out for a Liverpool throw pack.
It's actually hard to explain, and we'll go into football in a minute, but Juliet's trying to film this. It actually makes you slightly seasick watching the way they jump up. It looks like a wave. At the moment, Mane's through.
Ball over the top from Robertson. Mane cuts it back. Milner trying to volley it on the run just inside the penalty area. He plods the ball from Mane, but he was never going to get over that with his right foot, and he skied it over the crossbar, and it goes behind for a Red Star goal kick. 0-0.
And that's going to be a problem, I suspect, for the rest of the game for Red Star Belgrade, because Stojkovic, the right full-back, spending a lot of his time further up the field, and as I'm speaking just now for the kick-off, he's in the right wing position. I don't think you can do that against Sadio Mane. I don't think you can give him 20 yards and catch him. I don't think you can give him half a yard and catch him. That's in the area can Liverpool to make capital in this game.
Milner just made a bit of a late challenge on Ivancic, but the referee didn't spot it from the Liverpool throw. Salah tries to wriggle away, but in fact there's a foul there, and that will go in favour of Red Star Belgrade. So they're unbeaten in 7 home European matches since actually Arsenal won here by a 0-0 in last year's Europa League. They've only suffered 1 defeat in their last 14 at home in European competition, and crucially conceded just 5 goals in those 14, and never more than 1 in a single game during that sequence. As Ben switches play, Marin comes onto the ball into the penalty area. Marin cuts inside, low shot, saved by Alisson, decked out all in pink.
Yeah, good movement there. Ben seemed to have the vision to be able to pick out Marin here. He pulled to the left hand side. Marin's becoming difficult to mark at the moment. He's all over the place. Part of the time he's left wing. He's playing nominally as a kind of 10 position. However, I think he's got license to call whatever he wants, and that's why he's been able to pick up a bit of space here.
Do you have paracetamol with you, by the way?
I've got unnamed useful.
I think we might have a headache come the end of the game. BBC Radio 5 live here in Belgrade. Red Star 0, Liverpool 0. Crucial game for Liverpool. If they could get 3 points, it would take them on to 9 with 2 to play, and basically a win this evening, and Liverpool would just need to avoid defeats in each of their last 2 to qualify, where they go to Paris Saint-Germain on match day 5 and then at home to Napoli in the final game. And of course those two meet this evening in Naples. The whistles and the jeers are because Liverpool are in possession. They're playing the ball at the back. Van Dijk. Robertson now will play it forward from left back. Stojkovic, the right back, heads it forward. Ivancic is tackled by Mane, but the box-to-box player will win it back. Helped out by Kristić. Stojkovic goes back, and then coming onto that ball was the captain, Savic, who had a hamstring injury on match day 1 against Napoli. He returned against Paris but was replaced at half-time, and this is the first time he's featured since. And now in fact he cuts the ball out, and it's a Liverpool throw on this left-hand side.
I mean, Liverpool are doing okay just now. They're playing a normal game. They have to do it a little bit rushed. They've not controlled them most of the game, but considering how timid Red Star looked at various points of the game at Anfield, it's like a different set of 11 players. I know they've made a few changes, but it looks like a different football team altogether out there.
Salah works over the cross. Sturridge rose early, might come to Alexander-Arnold on the stretch, right-footed inside the penalty area. His volley over the top, and out of play it goes for a goal kick. Multi-ball system in operation, so there's no respite on or off the pitch.
Yeah, and it may well be that, you know, Liverpool have to just put up with this wave that's got, or these waves that are coming towards them constantly at the moment. I mean, they've not had that many goal-scoring chances so far, but they've played very well. They've been incredibly energetic, this Red Star team. But Liverpool have had that before. They can deal with it. And there's going to, I daren't say the phrase, try and silence a crowd. Good luck with that one.
I know. It's 0-0. Milner. Red Star will play it forward. Alexander-Arnold clears over the halfway line. Sturridge was coming back from an offside position. He almost interfered with the play. The assistant raised his flag on the far side, but referee has let play continue. Ivancic does a 360-degree turn. Fouled by Lallana. Free kick goes in favour of Red Star Belgrade, just short of the halfway line, as they play in their red and white shirts on this cold evening in the capital of Serbia, from left to right, and it's goalless. I asked Jurgen Klopp last night, I said, just out of interest, what is the most intimidating and hostile atmosphere you've ever experienced? And he thought about it long and hard, and surprisingly he said Seville. And of course he's been there with Liverpool, Dortmund and Mainz. The Stojkovic will come forward, low ball cut out by Van Dijk, only as far as Ben. Marin takes over, slips it in, cleared away by Robertson. Still it's alive. No, Stojkovic will let it run out for a corner kick.
And yeah, looking really lively going forward, Red Star, but certainly Marco Marin, I mean, he is a very good player, but I mean, he looks particularly up for it tonight, picking up the ball in dangerous areas. He's got good vision as well, and he looks much more comfortable playing central than he used to do playing wide.
Marin takes the corner short with Ben. It's Marin's cross from the right-hand side, headed away well by Van Dijk, helped further clear by Salah. Ivancic will collect that ball. He's going to turn it back in. No, instead he plays it forward on that left-hand side, and Van Dijk had spotted that. And Van Dijk, who's done well for Liverpool in these early stages, 13 minutes played, deals with the danger. There he is again, the Dutch defender, and Alexander-Arnold sweeps it away downfield. So surprisingly, Klopp said Seville. And you think, well, with Dortmund, when they got to the Champions League final, he'd gone to Donetsk to play Shakhtar with Dortmund, and Liverpool would have encountered Napoli, which is always an atmospheric stadium there in Naples, and indeed the semi-final against AS Roma last year. So I was surprised with the answer of Seville. Certainly never encountered anything like this before. Red Star come forward, diagonal ball in towards the penalty area. Ben chests it off, lifted back in. The right back is forward. Stojkovic heads it forward, cleared away by Van Dijk, who's a rock at the heart of that Liverpool defence.
The magnet on his head, he's got on the end of everything, but he's having to defend quite a lot just now, more than he's used to. He's quite capable of doing it, Van Dijk. I'm watching the assistant referee on the rear side here. He missed an offside. It was marginal, just a few moments below that Liverpool should have benefited from. Didn't give it. Free kick there Liverpool should have got. Didn't give it. I suspect he's going to give very little to Liverpool tonight.
The noise is piercing the eardrums. It's 0-0. 15 minutes played. Corner kick to Red Star Belgrade. Marin runs up now. Right-footed, curling, an out-swinger. Downward header blocked. Turn just over the top. That was from the captain, Savic, who was able to turn inside that penalty area. Goal kick. Red Star threatening as Bruges have taken an early 2-0 lead in the Principality. Monaco 0, Bruges 2 in Group A.
He doesn't get the ball on target there. It's a good dangerous area he's put the ball into, keeper didn't even consider coming for it there, but comes to the goal, to the centre-back Savic there, and I mean, he turned as quickly as a super tanker. However, he got the shot away, but nowhere near on target.
Kristicic just tried to play a ball forward to Milan Rodic, the left back, but he couldn't keep the ball in play, so as he hopped away in frustration, it'll be a Liverpool throw, and Alexander-Arnold will just take the time, finds James Milner. Milner, who scored his 50th goal in the Premier League at the weekend. Incredibly, when he scored in the Premier League, he's never featured on the losing side. That is some sequence for James Milner. They'll need his experience tonight to try and quieten this raucous Red Star support. I've been to Belgrade to watch Partizan back in 2003. Red Star get the honours for creating the most noise. Ball from Sturridge, cut out by Ben. Won back by Lallana to Robertson. Had to take it just underneath the chin. Finds Lallana. Good close control by Lallana. Forward ball. Mane left corner of the penalty area. Mane with a cutback. Might fall to Sturridge. And he's put it over the bar. 6 yards out. Falling backwards. Left-footed shot. Couldn't keep it down. Good chance.
A brilliant chance, and you know, him at his very, very best, which he has been in the past many times. He gets that on target, he almost doesn't think about it, but he's glazed over it. It's 7-8 yards out, no more than that. Yes, it's on his left foot there. It has to be taken quite high up. It's above his knee, but he would expect to put that on target. But it's this left-hand side that, you know, I suspected the problems would come from. Stojkovic attempted to make a challenge there on Mane, miles away, not even close to getting him there. Liverpool have to get the ball down this left-hand side, as well as obviously Salah on the right-hand side, because they've got lots and lots of chances from there.
BBC Radio 5 Live, Pat Nevin with us here in Belgrade. You can see the Liverpool supporters clapping and no doubt chanting. You just can't hear them. Ball up towards Ben. Again, Van Dijk was there, just leaning forward to head it away. Mane to Robertson. Robertson's clearance comes straight back at him. In fact, Ben will get there first. Stojkovic goes on the overlap, not required. Ivancic's ball has been cut out. Wijnaldum now will run forward. Liverpool playing from right to left, all in purple. Mane still wearing the cast on his left wrist. Back with Robertson, being pressed and chased and pursued by Ben. And across towards Matip will come forward. Along the ground, Alexander-Arnold just over the halfway line. Milner makes a run out towards that right touchline. Forward ball, Salah inside. Alexander-Arnold and Milner have both gone ahead of Salah. The back heel from Alexander-Arnold, and eventually it runs out of play for a goal kick. Milner unable to keep the ball in play.
Yeah, they're all playing their part. The effort's been superb from the Red Star players, but I don't actually think Liverpool look that spooked by it. You know, they've been under pressure before. A lot of these guys have played in atmospheres that have been pretty extreme before as well, and I think they've got great belief in themselves as a group and as a team, and Jurgen Klopp would have warned them what was going to happen today as well. But they've certainly played their part, this crowd. And I'm looking down just now, I've just realised I don't think any of them have actually sat down yet. At all. No one sits. There's seats in the stadium to no use whatsoever.
50,000 of them, and it was a sellout in just a matter of hours. Such was the prospect of Red Star Belgrade. The Serbian champions being back in the Champions League for the first time. Lallana, forward ball. Mane has Robertson on the overlap if required. Mane doesn't need him, carries the ball to the edge of the penalty area, in towards Sturridge. Sturridge with a turn and shot, takes the deflection behind for a corner. 0-0.
Yeah, he's a bit unlucky there, Sturridge. I think he's just getting his head down, shooting the ball on target. He's kind of hoping it goes through a defender's leg, and everybody knows who watches plenty of football. If you put it through a defender's legs, chances are the goalkeeper isn't going to see it.
The whistles have intensified because Mo Salah has come across to this near side to take the corner kick. Arms aloft from Salah. Near side to left. Left-footed. Flying header away. Milner heads it back. Cut out by Ben. Held up by Cernic. Tackled well by Milner. No, says the Spanish referee. Foul. Srnic, and that'll be a free kick to Red Star Belgrade.
Now, if they're cute enough, they'll do that all day long, because the referee's going to give that every single time. The pressure that he's going to be put under, and not even 50-50 shackles, something isn't even close to that might be a foul for Red Star. They're going to get it tonight, and it's just the way it's been going. I'm not saying the referee's cheating or anything like that, but there's a massive amount of pressure on it, and anything that's at all questionable will go and has gone to Red Star.
Still 0-0. It was never going to be straightforward for Liverpool, despite them being top of Group C. 6 points, just a 1 point advantage over Napoli. When Napoli came here on match day 1, it finished goalless. They are a side hard to beat from home. Shot fired in by Srnic, comes back out to Ben. Great save by Alisson. Low down to his left. Very good save, because Ben hit it first time. Out for a throw it goes.
I don't know what this assistant referee in this near side is on. Oh, he is spooked. He's just given that as a goal kick there. It couldn't have been anything other than a corner kick or a throw in. He's all over the place. However, corner kick, referee's got it right.
Corner then to Red Star. Marin waits, hands on hips, runs forward now, right footed. Double header! Red Star Belgrade lead by a goal to 0. The place has gone absolutely nuts. Sheer bedlam in Belgrade. It's Popkov. Milan Popkov with a downward header. Alisson couldn't keep it out. It was unstoppable. Red Star Belgrade lead Liverpool by a goal to 0.
And there's no complaints, because it was a corner kick. The referee got it right, even though the assistant referee given us it as a goal kick. It's a good ball in that, but the goalkeeper hadn't come out. Each time it's been put in there, Alisson has been static on his line. He's not put any pressure on the ball in the 6-yard line there. And up until that moment, Van Dijk had gotten the end of everything. Wasn't close to that one there. In many ways, it was an easy header in from 6 or 7 yards. Wow, what a noise. And we have got a game on.
Step back for Liverpool. And just when you thought that the noise couldn't intensify, it certainly has. You can hardly hear yourself think. Liverpool then, really ideally, have got to get something from this game. Salah looking to Sturridge, cut out by Ben. Robertson now comes forward, left hand side. Robertson to Wijnaldum. Milner, forward ball, blocked, up in the air it goes. Lallana tries to get on the end of it, cleared away then by Krisic, headed back by Van Dijk. Matic across towards Milner. Every Red Star supporter is jumping up and down in front of us from our elevated commentary position. Salah turns in the penalty area. Salah wants a sight of goal, off balance. His left-footed shot is swept away by Filip Stojkovic, and Red Star still fighting, as it said in the programme notes, and they have now something to protect, Pat.
Yeah, look, we knew it wasn't going to be easy in this game. And just for the fact that, in the first game of the Champions League it was a draw against Napoli, who are no mugs themselves. It was never going to be as easy as it was at Anfield. However, I think they've surprised us even so, because work rate has been fantastic, effort's been good, there have been decent skills as well. They've also been very brave. Most of the time they've been playing what looks like a 4-2-4, 4 attack-minded players up the field. And those energy levels, you just wonder if they can keep them going for 90 minutes, this Red Star team. But I'm not sure if they will, Ian. But if you have this noise behind you, this crowd behind you, this atmosphere raising your adrenaline levels, you never know, they might just do it.
Well, it's no surprise, with that in mind, that they're actually unbeaten in 28 home games since that defeat over 12 months ago against Arsenal last October. So 28 games undefeated at home. As Bruges have got a third goal against Monaco. If you're watching on the red button, you'll have seen that goal go in. Bruges and Monaco both level, a point apiece in Group A. Atletico Madrid behind to Borussia Dortmund, who lead that group on 9 points. Liverpool, the leaders of Group C, behind here against Red Star Belgrade. Marin turns, Jovancic comes forward, Pavkov makes the run ahead of him, the goal scorer. Jovancic then checked off the ball by Milner. Stojkovic keeps the ball going. It's a left-footed ball in, and in the end it's actually come off a Liverpool player, Mati, to prevent it from reaching Ben, and it's gone behind for a corner kick as Red Star, buoyed by the goal, press and get a corner kick. 1-0 they lead.
You've got to say they're playing really well, middle to front. They're moving for each other, they're creating spaces, and that space they had there on the right hand side, a bit of a surprise. Milner a little bit lucky, maybe could have seen a yellow card there. Just a little tackle off the ball there, took the player out. The referee played a very good, just as I'm saying that, the referee's going, having a word with, is it Van Dijk over there? Yes, he is having a word with Van Dijk. Van Dijk has to just about mark everyone there. I'm just trying to figure out if it was actually him or indeed Matip who lost the player in the last corner. Corner, same side.
This is where Red Star scored from previously. Marin, another outswinger, delivered deep. It arcs its way from that penalty area, and it's referee's blown his whistle. It's going to be a free kick to Liverpool. I've just decided for the bucket list I want to attend the Belgrade derby, the eternal derby, Red Star against Partizan, because I think that could be some spectacle, some occasion.
Well, I was just on a programme this week with the World Service with Manny Jansmy and a few friends talking about our favourite derbies through the world. He's just been to the Soweto one, and I'm with you, this is one I would love to see.
Salah comes forward for Liverpool, who trail by 1-0. Salah, low ball in, Lallana tries to take it on, but it ran away from him. The clearance then by Boyan, the goalkeeper, never looked like he was in full control there, Adam Lallana, as now Marin is on the ball for Red Star Belgrade. Free kick quickly taken, red and white striped shirts, too quickly taken. Oh, he's got to be careful, he's shown dissent there, Marin, to the Spanish referee, and remember he was booked earlier in the game.
And he's walking away from the referee. In that situation, you don't do that, because you'll just annoy him a little bit more. You're right, he's walking a very tight line. The thing is about Marin, he's playing really well so far. He held the ball up well there. The referee's not allowed him to take it quickly. I think that was a wee bit unfair on him.
The way that he carries himself, and I always thought this when he was at Werder Bremen, where I saw him play, he's got a run, or from a distance, and we are certainly from a distance here, of Messi.
Yeah.
In terms of stature. Nobody, of course, can be like Messi, and he certainly never materialised when he was at Chelsea. 4 loans away from Stamford Bridge, and only 16 appearances and 1 goal during his time there. As Marin wins the ball to Pavkov, the big striker now comes forward. He's going to shoot from distance. Oh, what a goal! What a strike! Pavkov has unleashed a bullet, right-footed. Allison stood no chance. Red Star lead Liverpool 2-0, and Liverpool have real problems with so much work to do now in Group C.
Pavkov, he got the ball there. He's in central midfield area attacking the Liverpool goal. There didn't seem to be any danger at all, and he shrugged off Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum, he seemed to get close to him, and he just shrugged him off. Wijnaldum didn't try to get back there, and thought to himself, well, you're 25 yards out, you're not going to score from there. And he smashed into the corner. What a magnificent goal. He didn't play the first game, did he?
I've never experienced anything like this. When you're doing the commentary, I don't know if obviously it's coming across back to you on the Listening to 5 Live, but you're shouting to have to hear yourself. As Lallana for Liverpool. Liverpool now really have to dig in. They have to get something from this game, because they'll have work to do. They've got to go to Paris Saint-Germain, match day 5, 28th of November, and Napoli at home. 2 tough matches. It was always going to be difficult, but now they've got a mountain to climb, trailing 2-0. Corner kick to Liverpool. Right hand side, Matip is up, headed away, Salah on the edge of the area, left footed volley. Red Star 2, Liverpool 0.
It's really hard to explain why this is happening. You have got to say something about this place where we are. this is not a brilliant Red Star team, but they are playing out of the skin. Every single player is giving everything that he's got just there, and they are working so closely together. There's nothing complex about what they're doing. They are just fighting very hard, and it goes back to those programme notes you were talking about before, Ian. They've got fighters out here, and that's what they're talking about, and every one of them is, challenging. I mean, every single challenge counts at the moment.
Those programme notes, with your support, our 11 fighters can do anything on the pitch. What they're doing at the moment is leading Liverpool by 2 goals to 0. Robertson for Liverpool on the halfway line, back towards Van Dijk. Pavkov, who last year hit 23 goals in the Serbian Super League when he was out on loan. It's actually his 3rd season with the club, has taken his tally to 6 for the season, but that was a special goal. Van Dijk, still with Liverpool though, you wouldn't rule them out with the prowess that they have if they can get involved. Sturridge at the minute is on the periphery. Salah needs to see more of the ball to overcome this spirited Red Star side, because chances created have been few and far between by Liverpool so far in these 32 minutes that we've played.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you think about Liverpool, even when they're under pressure, the pace that they break at, they always look dangerous. They've not looked that dangerous apart from up that left-hand side a couple of times early on, and they aren't playing as a team the way that you're used to them playing, but that's the opposition doing that.
Corner kick swung in by Milner, headed on by Wijnaldum, headed away in front of the goalkeeper Boyan. Liverpool still remain. Milner puts it back in again, and the downward header by Robertson has gone behind for another corner kick. Must have taken a deflection on its way through.
Yeah, and they are creating chances, but not with doing anything particularly complicated. I'm going to have to say this. I think it's Mo Salah in particular that's getting the abuse here, and I hope there's no other reason for that.
Salah with the corner from the left, headed away, put back in by...
And I hope I'm not
Lallana.
imagining that. Is it Mo Salah above everyone else that's getting the abuse, personally?
Yes, but I think that's because of the player he is rather than any other reason.
One would hope so.
I would hope so too. Boyan to take the free kick for Red Star Belgrade, dropping to his knees but still heading the ball away was Van Dijk. It actually came to Pavkov, who they were saying hit it again then. Goes out for a throw. Looked like he thought about it, the 24-year-old striker. It's his double that gives Red Star a 2-0 lead.
I can't believe he didn't have a shot there. It was on, he was only 25 yards out, considering his last one.
Stojkovic to take the throw. In it goes, long to the penalty area. Headed away by Van Dijk. Cleared further by Alexander-Arnold. For the last 33 minutes, since the very first whistle, these Red Star supporters have not shut up whatsoever. Ball played back towards Milan Borja, Canadian international goalkeeper. Directs his ball out towards Juvancic. Ben takes a tumble. Ball played forward then towards Salah, looking to try and get away from his marker. Lifts it inside to Sturridge. Takes it high on the chest, waits for the ball to settle. Sturridge now comes forward. Sturridge, good footwork, edge of the area. Sturridge still going. Daniel Sturridge with a right-footed shot, off target, goal kick. Liverpool trail 2-0, 5 live.
Yeah, you understand why he took the shot on there. Good ball skills there, makes a half a yard for himself, but I think the right pass was one to play outside to the right-hand side there. He had an overlapping player there. Great chance to play it out there, didn't do it. And Alexander-Arnold, he's going trudging back there, and he knows he should have been played in there by Sturridge. By the way, really interesting, that last song there, Juliet was showing us it was a call and response from one side to the ground to the other side of the ground. Must have kept on going for 3 minutes. It was absolutely magnificent.
Red Star lead, Liverpool 2-0. They're at it again, headed away then by Savic. Salah tries to pick up a loose ball, getting in behind the left back. In comes the cross over the head of Lallana, picked up by Robertson, keeps the ball in play. Wijnaldum helps him out. Wijnaldum turns, comes under pressure from Marco Marin, snapping at his heels. Forced back to Matip in the centre circle. Matip now runs forward, almost midway through the Red Star half. finds Mane, first touch goes away from him, and Marin then to Ben, and Stojkovic will clear downfield as Red Star still lead by 2-0. If you're a Liverpool supporter listening to 5 Live, your side have found the net in 14 of your last 18 matches in Europe, and you've scored 3 or more in 9 of those 14. Certainly one would be nice in the next 10 minutes to try and reduce the deficit, or to reduce the deficit, and to try and give you something to build on in the second half.
It's not beyond Liverpool. It's definitely not beyond Liverpool. Creating half chances just now. I mean, certainly Mo Salah had one, and there was a diving header by Robertson. Oh, a tackle by, is that Milner there? I think he's going to get
Lallana.
It's Lallana, yeah.
Lallana shown the yellow card for a late challenge, so he's the first Liverpool player to be booked. Liverpool, by the way, have the best disciplinary record for every side in the Champions League this season. That, would you believe, is only the 3rd yellow card that has been shown to a Liverpool player in this competition so far. 9 minutes to go to half-time. BBC Radio 5 live here in Belgrade, bringing you exclusive commentary from Serbia. Red Star lead 2-0, which would certainly put a cat amongst the pigeons as far as Group C are concerned. Liverpool would have 6 points, Napoli 5, Red Star would move on to 4, level with Paris Saint-Germain, who of course travel to Naples, or play Napoli in Naples later on tonight.
And do you think, Red Star might even think, we've got a chance here, we can go for it. We've got one more home game, they might get the points. I mean, it's still a massive outside opportunity for them. But right now the game has actually stopped because Marin's down. He's been wiped out in that tackle there by Adam Lallana. I don't think he's acting. I think he really did get a sore one there. He's had a lively old game so far, Marin, and I think it's infuriated the Liverpool players, the fact that he has been nipping at the referee a bit.
Well, if Liverpool were to lose tonight, all of a sudden then you're thinking, well, Napoli then to beat Paris Saint-Germain later on. They'd move on to 8 points, and that would still leave Liverpool with a 2-point advantage over Paris Saint-Germain and avoid defeat in the French capital when they go there on match day 5. That would then have to be the scenario for Liverpool. As Alisson, with Pavkov looking to close him down, plays it forward to Matip, over towards that far side. Liverpool have a lot of work to do. 38 minutes nearly play. Advancing towards the halfway line with Wijnaldum. To Robertson, but Red Star file back. They have players behind the ball. Sturridge pops up on the left-hand side. Loose ball by Sturridge. Put pressure on Wijnaldum. As a result of that, they've given it away. Ben manages to skip away from Milner, who makes the challenge from behind, and Milner commits the foul, and the free kick is awarded to the Serbian champions.
I think Milner has to be a little bit careful here. Quite a lot of fouls he's given away there. Some of them have been sort of light, probably bordering on not being fouls at all, but there's been a few dodgy ones as well. He needs to be careful.
Stojkovic with a cross aimed towards Pavkov. He's making a nuisance of himself. I think he thought that he got a corner kick there as he went in for that aerial duel with Van Dijk, but the Spanish referee has actually said it's a goal kick.
He's a tall player as well, and certainly his teammates knows what he's good at, so they're just putting balls into areas that he can go and attack. Now he's up against quite a lot of the time Van Dijk, and very few players beat Van Dijk in the air, but when he can peel off Van Dijk, he looks very dangerous indeed.
24 years of age, and his 2 goals have put Red Star in a good, strong position in this Champions League Group C. We've still got commentary to come from Wembley later on. Must win for Spurs against PSV Eindhoven, after they threw it away a fortnight ago in Holland. Liverpool.
Do you know what, Ian? I think we just had about 30 seconds there where they went almost quiet, these fans, and thought, is this really happening? They're winning 2-0. The expectation wasn't great. The hope was massive, but the expectation wasn't great. I think they cannot believe they're 2-0 up at the moment against Liverpool.
They're in a dream position. Mane forward towards Lallana, offside. Lallana triggering the offside trap on this near side. That's being roundly applauded by the Red Star supporters all the way around this stadium, as those red and white flags ripple in the stiff breeze that sweeps across this stadium. And in no hurry to take this free kick is Milan Borjan, the Canadian international goalkeeper, all in green, away to our left-hand side. Alisson pretty in pink or not so pretty, he's had his goal breached twice tonight, and on both occasions it was by Milan Pavkov.
He's actually been fairly subdued tonight, oddly. You know, usually he's a wee bit, he can dominate that a little bit more. He'll come out, certainly out with his 6-yard box. He hardly has done that tonight for crosses or even when the ball's been played back. The colour may not be subdued, but the performance has been.
Trailing 2-0. The familiar voice of Pat Nevin on 5 Live as Robertson to Van Dijk. Wijnaldum is ahead of him. He bypasses his fellow countryman and finds Milner as Alexander-Arnold goes on ahead of him on that far side to right. Liverpool playing from right to left. Alexander-Arnold's low ball in. Little flick by Lallana. Joining the attack is Robertson. Left corner of the penalty area, Mane. Mane goes on the outside. Mane tries to work over the cross. Caught by Boyan. Although the crowd reaction, I guess, would have told you that listening at home.
Yeah, but Liverpool get plenty of players in the box. Left-hand side, once again, Mane, when he's up against the full-back, he's going to go by him. He will go by him every single time. It's just how good the final ball can be. That time it wasn't good enough. But you just think Liverpool, look, he's on fire. He's playing against a player who can't get near him for pace and skill. Just try and get him on the ball as often as you can.
Long clearance by Boyan, goes all the way through to his opposite number, Alisson. Underarm throw out to Matip. Matip's first start since playing against Chelsea at the end of September in the League Cup. Nice ball by Sturridge out towards Milner. Milner's onto it, right hand side, level the penalty area. Alexander-Arnold makes a run on the inside, finds Salah instead. Salah with a return to Alexander-Arnold, breaks down. It was dealt with by Kristicic on that far side. Quick throw by Liverpool. And then able to turn Alexander-Arnold. Chips it forward. Headed away though by Milan Rodic. Picked up now by Marin. And as he's closed down by 4 purple shirts of Liverpool, Marin turns, holds onto the ball, and in fact plays it back, but it will go off a Liverpool player. And every decision is being applauded and cheered by these Red Star supporters, as in fact it runs all the way, cheated across the touchline, and out of play eventually for a goal kick to Red Star.
And I would say that's one of the few times in the last minute or two where Red Star have just sat back a little bit. They've just thought, we'll get to half time now if we possibly can. They've not been challenging at quite the same pace in midfield, and they've given it a little bit of domination of that sort of area. But that's taken us to almost 42 and a half minutes for that to happen.
The second goal, unstoppable.
And it's an absolutely brilliant goal. I mean, certainly any chance you ever get to see that goal, get a chance to see it, because he's caught it. The keeper knows where he's going to put it, but the power is just so extraordinary, he can't get near it.
Mane, free kick surely. Free kick to Liverpool in the centre circle. He was caught late by, I think it was Milos Degenek, the Australian international, who gave away that free kick within the safe area of the field as Liverpool take it with under 2 minutes to go to half-time, trailing 2-0. Liverpool need to produce something special in the second half. They really need to get something from this game. Wouldn't want to suffer another defeat in Group C. And away from home, it would be a 3rd successive defeat on their travels. Napoli, of course, in the earlier games in this group, and Roma in the semi-final. 2014, the last time they lost 3 on the spin away from home. Firmino is on the bench as Alisson with the underarm throw out to Milner. Alexander-Arnold shy of the halfway line, goes back towards Matip. Red Star working hard. Liverpool though still have the quality, and you'd imagine that Red Star will tire. Robertson to Milner, using the full width of the pitch as he now switched it out towards the right. Alexander-Arnold comes forward, goes back into a central area. Milner finds Mane. The referee's played the advantage. There was a foul there on the former England international. Patient play by Liverpool. Wijnaldum to Sturridge, onto his left foot, strokes it on the inside. They've worked it to Robertson, is now over on this left-hand side. Here he is. The whistles intensify. Back towards Milner. Ball into the penalty area. Lallana looking towards Salah. Cut out by Degenek. Out for a throw.
And I actually think they'll be looking at the assistant referee and they will be delighted. It's only 1 minute because as you say, you're beginning to see and feel the tiredness of these Red Star players. They need a little bit of a rest. They've given so much in this first half. They definitely need that rest.
Liverpool have such a good record of scoring away from home, but they need to find at least two in reply to the downward header and the fierce long-range drive, both from Pavkov. 1 minute of added on time, which we're now into. We will not hear the whistle, but the crowd reaction will tell you when it is half-time, because there is a banner in that north end of the ground that says Heroes, and Red Star certainly have 11 of those out there in red and white at the moment, and they will be cheered to the rafters as they go back down that long white tunnel back to their dressing room in this intimidating venue. And there is the half-time whistle. Red Star lead Liverpool by 2-0. A downward header from Pavkov, followed up just before the half hour by a wonderful strike. Pat Nevin, they've got work to do, Liverpool, in this raucous atmosphere.
They have got work to do against a team who, more than tails up. Everything's up for them just now, and the fans are up for them winning this game as well. They've been brilliant this first half. Can they keep it going in the second half? The only thing missing from this entire stadium is Liverpool playing at their best. If they play the best in the second half, it's still not beyond them.
So from the Bear Pit in Belgrade to the sanctuary of our commentary position at Wembley, well, what they're going to do, Kelly, straight away make a double substitution, because Gomez and Firmino are going to be coming on for Liverpool, who are in their change outfit of the all-purple. Live here in Belgrade. Matip is... In fact, Sturridge is the first one to go off. So Firmino comes on for Sturridge. That's the first change. And it's Trent Alexander-Arnold. So Gomez will play it right back. They're the two changes that have been made. Liverpool haven't had a shot on target. They're 2-0 down. They've got to improve. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, I think they will improve. They don't often have two such lacklustre halves in a row. Part of it, let's be honest, you have to say part of it is the opposition have been superb in the way they've put themselves about in this game, and the speed they've closed down Liverpool and they've won that midfield. But Liverpool doing that twice in a row for 45 minutes, I doubt it.
We're back underway. BBC Radio 5 Live, bringing you exclusive radio commentary from here in Serbia. Red Star Belgrade quickly on the offensive in their red and white striped shirts, playing from right to left against Liverpool, all in the purple, for what is Liverpool's 200th game in Europe's elite competition, whether it's the guys of the European Cup or the Champions League. The first was in Iceland back in 1964, and Iceland conjures up images of the cold. There is nothing cold, even with the weather, because this fiery stadium and the Red Star team are certainly responding to the atmosphere as Ben looks to turn, shot fired away, might come to Ben once again, and it bounces off his chest and goes out of play for a goal kick. The raging passion from these supporters are spurring on the Red Star players as they lead 2-0, as the noise and the atmosphere once again picks up where we left off. Marin tries to thread a ball through, might break forward towards Ben, scooped up by Allison.
They started in a very lively fashion against Red Star. By the end of the first half there, they were beginning to wilt just a little bit. They haven't made any changes here, but you could see that they're beginning to hold on and hope for that half-time whistle. They have started the second half the way they did the first half, and looking lively. Has created a couple of half chances there. Lucky actually, a little bit lucky I think, Liverpool, a couple of occasions there, and they should have played the ball away better. And as I speak, Sadio Mane's gone down, looking for some attention and some sympathy.
Jurgen Klopp with his hands out, suggesting that there was a little bit more in that. He's having a word with the assistant referee in front of him with his baseball cap on, the Liverpool manager, who was very much on a charm offensive yesterday as he left the press conference to applause from the Serbian journalists when he was being pressed by the matter regarding Shaqiri. He was very, very particular that the full translation was actually given to those who could understand what he was trying to get across. Well, Shaqiri left at home. Liverpool didn't want any distractions.
I suppose the question could be asked, should he be here now? Would he help? You know, in this situation that Liverpool found themselves in, to be honest, he wouldn't hinder it.
The whistles and the jeers will tell you that Liverpool are in possession. Gomez chips it long, looking towards Salah. They had 54% of the possession in the first half, 9 shots, none on target. Robertson comes forward. Firmino makes the run. Firmino holds off his man, fires it in low, takes a deflection, stabbed goalwards by Mane, cleared away. It was by Rodic, the left back, with the clearance. It was only a half-hearted chance. Didn't have the full power behind it, Mane. Liverpool, though, come forward again. Mane slips on the surface, and Rodic will put the ball out of play. But if Liverpool could reduce the arrears, then all of a sudden they might panic Red Star Belgrade.
Yeah, but he wasn't convincing the way he went for that ball there. You're right, it was a half-hearted effort for Mane. Comes across there, maybe it would have been better swinging his left foot at it. As it is, he tried to stab out his right foot, almost the outside of his right boot, got nothing on it at all. That's only 4 or 5 yards out. Should get it on target with power.
Mane now right hand side, strokes it infield, middle flick, nice one by Salah. Shot by Lallana, blocked, still going in the penalty area. Lallana heads it back towards Salah and then cleared away by Juvancic. Salah plays it a long way back, awkward to control for Gomez, the substitute, looks towards Sane. Rodic comes sliding across. They've been so committed, the Red Star players. Gomez with a throw to Salah. Tight behind him was Deganek. Back with Mane. Was it quite greasy down there on this near side? A Red Star player almost lost his footing as well. Gomez, Milner forward of the centre circle, along the ground to Robertson on that far side. BBC Radio 5 Live here in Belgrade. Van Dijk's long diagonal ball in the air, caught by Milan Borjan, the goalkeeper, and there was no need for him to fall to the floor, but he has done exactly that. Every second counts.
Yeah, the pitch was soaked at half-time, as many teams do. The way that Liverpool come out the second half, trying to change it up all over the place, not just the 2 changes they've made, but Sadio Mane's come over the right-hand side instead of being on the left-hand side, where he was looking quite effective in the first half. Salah's really playing as a central striker, maybe as a false 9, as it were, and Firmino just to the left-hand side of him. So, all change up front.
Robertson will come forward. Liverpool still trailing by 2-0. Back to Milner, passing the ball quicker. Liverpool in the early stages of this second half. 5 minutes played. We've still got commentary to come. Another double header for you on 5 Live from Wembley. Alistair Bruce Ball and Lee Dixon will bring you commentary of Tottenham against PSV. And then tomorrow we're in Turin, Juventus against Manchester United, with news of Manchester City, who sit top of Group F against Shakhtar. And at the weekend, 3 commentaries on Sunday involving the top 3, including the Manchester derby. But it will kick off with Liverpool against Fulham, still of course undefeated in the Premier League. This is the Champions League. Lallana's low ball in, cleared away though by the captain Savic. But Liverpool are starting to get in around the back now in this second half, and the tempo's increased, hasn't it, from them?
Yeah, you just wonder, saying about Red Star being tired at the end of that first half. They've had a little lift after half time, but you just expect at some point Liverpool start really pressing high up the pitch, causing problems, and they're doing that right now. Firmino
to Lallana, he looked towards Salah, cleared away by Borjan. Liverpool keep the ball though inside the Red Star half. This is Wijnaldum to Milner. Look at a different proposition altogether, passing the ball a lot slicker. Liverpool. Milner blocked, sliding challenge came in by Deganek, and Rodic will eventually clear, but he's dwelt on the ball. Milner did well to win it back. He stayed down though as Milner. Mane on this side, referee's played the advantage. Salah cuts inside, looks towards Firmino. Loose ball picked up by Wijnaldum. Liverpool have definitely upped it. This is encouraging. Trailing 2-0. Firmino tried to thread it through to Robertson, blocked. Comes back to Firmino. Milner's back on his feet. Here he is. Right hand side. Milner's arcing ball is deep. Stojkovic heads it away, and Ben will clear. It's going to keep coming straight back at them, Pat.
Yeah, it's what they expected to happen, maybe much earlier than this, and there's no way that this Red Star team could have kept up, pace up for the whole 90 minutes. Well, they're in the back foot now. They have made no changes at half time. They've got to be looking at the bench now. They need a little bit more energy in the middle of that park just now. As for Liverpool, they're flying at the moment, but can they make it count in the next few minutes?
Still trailing 2-0 to those 2 goals from Milan Pavkov. But Liverpool look more threatening in this second half. Firmino to Robertson. Robertson cross, blocked by Stojkovic. Up in the air it goes. Headed away by Deganek. Only as far as Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum waits, stands still. Central position, midway through the Red Star half. Still the racket that goes on. The Red Star support has been incredible.
It has been incredible, Ian, but I'll tell you what, there's also an uncertainty growing in it. You can feel just a little tinge of uncertainty now.
Mane looked to Lallana. Lallana wasn't expecting the ball, and it struck the heels of the England international, and it runs out for a goal kick. But 8 minutes into this second half, the way that Liverpool have responded is better.
Yeah, but Liverpool have to keep this up. I mean, they can't just go and give you 10-15 minutes of this. I mean, it's going to be a hard slog to get back into this game. 2 goals down. If they can get one in the next 5-10 minutes, then you think that'll, well, you'll see a folding almost of the opposition in front of you, I would suspect. But it's that first goal. Get it as quick as possible, and there's points here to be won.
We were together though in Seville, weren't we, when Liverpool were leading 3-0 midway through the second half, ended up drawing 3-3.
Yeah, they completely fell apart on that occasion. And that can happen to teams, you know. They stop being a team, you know, looking around at each other. The belief goes, well, they have to do that the other way around this time.
Yeah, the quality of this Liverpool front line, you wouldn't rule them out scoring goals late on, but they fiercely competitive, urged on by this passionate support.
Well, just Cernic's diving into that tackle there. You try that one in the Premier League, you're getting a yellow card. Absolute stick on. He's dived in, yes, he's got the ball, but both feet were off the ground, and the studs were showing there. There was a goal kick instead there, but that was reckless.
Played short from the goal kick. Gomez gets it back from Mane. Gomez then delivers it hard to the feet of Firmino, lays it off to Wijnaldum. Edge of the centre circle in the Liverpool half, who are playing from left to right. Milner then back towards Wijnaldum, who's now in Red Star territory. Gomez on the halfway line. Mane waits on this near side, the right. They back off Mane, infield to James Milner, looking for his options, looks up, crossfield ball, out towards the left back Robertson, still midway through the Red Star half, back towards Van Dijk. Van Dijk along the ground. Marin looked for the interception, but it reaches Gomez. Patient play, back with Mane on the right. Mane then comes on the inside, and he's shown on the inside by Cernic. Clips it across towards Robertson. Left corner of the penalty area. Robertson's cross takes a deflection, strikes the top of the crossbar. Firmino cuts it back in the penalty area. It's cleared away. Stojkovic has gone down on the edge of the penalty area. Play continues, and now Krstijic puts it out of play for a throw to allow the physio on.
Yeah, Stojkovic's hand went straight up right away, and it seems to me that could be quite a serious injury there. We'll see if he survives this one. He was struggling a little bit in the first half. He wasn't getting anywhere close to Sadio Mane. He's gone down there, and you know, it's one of those ones, you know, sometimes players go down and you think maybe acting, try to kill a little bit of time, and I suspect that will happen as this game goes on. I'm not convinced that's the case this time. He looks quite badly injured.
Filip Stojkovic, Montenegro international, returned last year for his second spell at the club, and he's still getting treatment on the edge of the penalty area. By the way, at half-time was only the first time that we actually heard the Liverpool support. 1,000 of them have travelled, although that end has swelled as the game has gone on to whether there's some Serbian Liverpool fans who've been allowed to enter that section, I'm not too sure. But when they chanted the Ale song, they were then roundly booed and whistled by the Red Star fans, who lines of stewards in between the gangways on that far side of the stadium as the golf buggy with the paramedics is now being wheeled onto the pitch, so Stojkovic is going to have to come off the field of play.
Yeah, oddly enough, I didn't really see the challenge. It was a challenge with a Liverpool player. There wasn't any suggestion even of a foul there, but just the way he reacted the second he went down, there was no rolling about, there was none of that nonsense. The arm was straight up in the air. There seemed no reason to go down there when they were under pressure. and purely the psychology of it, you think, no, that's an injury, that's a serious injury, or a possibly a serious injury.
And that's why the Red Star supporters now are applauding as he's been placed onto the stretcher. So this is going to take some time before he actually comes off the field of play. It gives me a chance to remind you, naturally the Football Daily podcast, which is available in the morning, will give you reflections from Bellgrade and also from Wembley, and a look ahead from our team, John Murray, our correspondent, out in Turin. Juventus against Manchester United for tomorrow. But also the new Peter Crouch podcast is available. It's a celebration one. And that will be again available in the usual outlets in the morning. That Peter Crouch podcast that is doing so well. So has the change been made yet?
No, it hasn't. I'm just seeing if he's definitely going to make it. Liverpool have started the game again. They're 11 against 10. They're going to try and make use of this extra man.
Lallana to Mane. Mane's cross down to 10 men. Red Star Belgrade. I don't know why the Red Star supporters are having a go at Liverpool. If the Red Star team can't get their act together, then that's not Liverpool's fault. The referee says play on, you play on.
Yeah, you had plenty of time to make the change. He was lying there for about 3 or 4 minutes.
Liverpool then will look to try and take an advantage. Gobblejic is the player who's going to be coming on. Ball slid in, turned by Lallana, behind, goal kick. Now you want to make the change. Get your act together rather than having a go at the Liverpool team.
Yeah, I mean, you understand they're expecting Liverpool to put the ball out. That's not the rules. Now, it may well be that it's convention that it often happens, but it isn't the rules. You play to what the referee says that, and you're absolutely right. I'm 100% with you there. As a player, you should do the right thing and play on.
So the Serbian international, Marko Gobblejic, who played in the game at Anfield, he's a left-back actually, 2 caps for Serbia. He comes on, but he replaces Stojkovic as a right-back. So that's the change made by Red Star Belgrade, who still lead Liverpool by 2-0. We're approaching the hour mark, and Liverpool still yet to have a meaningful chance in this game.
You know, they have started that livelier way in the second half. There's much more space in the midfield there, you know, and that's the perfect sign of another team that's tiring against you. But you're right, no clear-cut chances. Getting to the byline a few times. The odd one for me is Sadio Mane come over the right-hand side when he'd been doing so well on the left in the first half.
Time's running out. This defeat would be very, very damaging for Liverpool, mean that their participation in the knockout stage is still in the balance for what was always going to be a tight group anyway, with Napoli against Paris Saint-Germain still to come at 8 o'clock in Naples. Pavkov to Ben, out towards Marin on this near side. Messi's not even on the bench for Barcelona. They're away at Inter. Tottenham against PSV as the commentary, with Alistair Bruce Ball on its way, a double header here on BBC Radio 5 Live. But Liverpool are still 2-0 down, conceding those goals to Pavkov in the first half, as Milner along the ground towards Gomez. Lallana neatly lays it off to Milner. Milner forward, Mane on the right hand side. Mane edges his way towards the penalty area, tries to chip it into the box, it's blocked and goes out of play for a throw that Gomez is going to take.
Yeah, just looks a wee bit more uncomfortable, Mane, on this right hand side so far. Left hand side, you know what he wants to do is get a pace to burn. He can go outside on the left, and if they show him down that way, he can come inside and smack it with his right foot. On the right hand side here, he just looks slightly less comfortable, and he's certainly had less of an impact in this game. By the way, Salah had almost no impact in the second half, which is a big disappointment for Liverpool.
Here is Milner coming forward. Gomez joins the attack near side the right. Level the penalty area. Back to Milner. They wait in the penalty area. Milner's ball caught by Boyan, and once again he drops to the floor.
Yeah, he drops to the floor, kills as much time as he can, but you remember the first half, all those Red Star players were flying up the pitch and desperate to get involved in the play again. They jog out very slowly this time, kill as much time as possible. Ball smacked up the pitch there and straight off to Alisson, and the ball given easily and pointlessly back to Liverpool again.
The reason why Red Star supporters were not allowed to go to the first 2 away games, they were banned by UEFA for disturbances. They invaded the pitch, they set off fireworks when they qualified for the Champions League at Salzburg in Austria. Such was the momentous occasion to reach the Champions League proper. They won't be able to get onto the pitch tonight because of the moat that separates the stands and the playing surface, but they will celebrate wildly as Milner comes forward. And again Degenek comes across, and Degenek's going to go down to the ground. Is he here? He's certainly picked up a knock. There's a blow to the arm. He's just going to try and shake it off as a corner kick is awarded to Liverpool, but Liverpool need to get a goal back, trailing 2-0. Salah to take the corner kick, left-footed, an in-swinger, hits the side netting.
I suspect he had a shot at goal there from the corner kick. I think that's what Mo Salah trying to do. I mean, he's such a talented player. He wouldn't normally put the ball in that sort of angle there. He's trying to curl in at the near post there because the keeper's coming, collecting most things that are put to the back post. Doesn't get it to the trajectory right. And Red Star, not surprisingly, will make another change. It's going to be Marko Marin that comes off now.
Radim Miljevic, the 48-year-old Serbian coach, led them to the championship in his first season last year. He's going to make another change. Second change, Goran Ćosić, who's a midfielder. Second spell at the club after going around places like Turkey, Osasuna in Spain, as well as a spell in Russia, is going to replace the former Chelsea player Marko Marin. So this might be just to try and shore up the midfield, because Marin has been playing off essentially Pavkov, who's got both the goals. So that's the change that is made.
Yeah, but the second half, Marin's not really getting involved apart from the first minute or two. So bringing somebody else in, it can maybe, as you say, make it a 4-5-1. Now that it's going to be much harder to break down, but someone has to go up and help Pavkov a little bit. You know, he scored these 2 goals, and you know, he'll be a hero around here if he wins the game, but he needs someone to help him. Nothing is being held up in that second half now for the Red Star team, and the entire dominance of the possession is with Liverpool now.
Liverpool will be travelling home to Merseyside tonight. They'll be desperate to find out that scoreline from Naples. We'll keep you in touch on BBC Radio 5 Live. You will for yourself via the BBC red button on your television, or indeed 5 Live final score on the web or the BBC Sport app, because should that finish level in Naples, you'd have a very tight group indeed. Remember, at the start of play, Liverpool top 6 points, but behind 2-0. Napoli 5, Paris Saint-Germain 4, Red Star as it stands moving also onto 4 points with this 2-0 lead. From a throw, headed on towards Pavkov, dealt with there by Matip, comes back to Matip, fouled on the halfway line. That'll be a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, but they're not getting up the field quick enough now. It's getting to that sort of stage of the game now. You'd want to have got 1 goal back by now. They haven't managed to do that and had very few chances, now giving the ball away stupidly.
Well, Napoli on match day 2 were the first side since Villarreal to prevent Liverpool from scoring on their European travels. That was back in 2016. Of course, it was the semi-final in the Europa League. Liverpool do tend to score. They're threatening now. Salah tries to squeeze it through to Firmino, but just closing the gap was the Red Star defence, and brought forward there by Kristić, who goes to ground. No foul, says the referee. And instead, Liverpool will now build from the back once more. But we're almost approaching the midway point of the second half, and Liverpool are yet to reduce the arrears as they trail by 2-0.
It's very strange. I mean, the players that want to come on and do something. Firmino, again, he's not had a great impact in the game. He's moved across that front line, almost playing in a number 10 position. Liverpool have changed it to a 4-2-3-1 now. You know, with Lallana going up on the left-hand side, Mane on the right-hand side, Firmino central behind Salah. But it's still not working yet.
Mane couldn't keep the ball in play. Jurgen Klopp will just say to him, it's okay, it's fine. But Černić is in no hurry to take it. He's going to leave it for Rodic, as once again those foil-like bits of banners that formed the mosaic at the start that said let the struggle be continuous are now being waved at the north end of the stadium, and all of a sudden everybody else then decides to follow suit, as everywhere you look in this bowl-like arena, silver bits of paper are being waved above their heads. And in fact the mosaic is actually going to be formed once again. What a sight here inside the Rajko Mitic Stadium in Belgrade. They have been more than a 12th man. Red Star lead 2-0, and Liverpool still have possession, but at the minute, Pat Nevin are not making any impact
No, they're not. And oddly enough, these fans, and it's often the case with football fans who know their football, they see when their team's tiring, when they need that little extra bit of help. And I think it was getting to that period of time where they saw a little bit of tiredness, they're beginning to make substitutions. They know that these next 5 or so minutes are going to be massively important, if they're going to hold on to these vital, crucial and desperately important 3 points that they've got at the moment in their pockets.
It's an atmosphere to savour. The scoreline is far from it for Liverpool, trailing 2-0. Robertson on the left-hand side. Wijnaldum midway through the Red Star half. Every outfield player is in the Red Star half as Liverpool play from left to right. Gomez comes under pressure from Cernic. Matip then to Milner. Still they work hard off the ball. Jurgen Klopp waving his hands around, doesn't look too happy. He's animated in the technical area. Wijnaldum to Robertson. They've increased the volume once again inside the stadium. Matip forward of the centre circle. Milner looks up, diagonal ball. Salah back to goal. Can he turn? Pulls it back. Wijnaldum can't get the shot away. Charged down by Ben. No free kick. Now the referee gives a free kick and Ben stays on the floor. Every tactic being utilised by these Red Star players.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of a foul there was there. I think his studs were showing as much as anything else. I don't think he's injured at all. He'll get on, he'll get up with it. But even the players at Liverpool, you can almost always depend on Andrew Robertson. You know, fabulous seasons he's had with Liverpool last season and this season, but he's been quite quiet tonight. He's done nothing wrong, but those lung-busting runs up the left-hand side, we've just not seen enough of them. And whether he's just not getting the service or not may be the question, but that outlet is needed for Liverpool tonight.
Liverpool haven't been playing as well this season as they did last year. They've been eking out the results. Of course, they are still unbeaten in the Premier League, but it's been a struggle tonight. Trailing 2-0, and just over 20 minutes remain. Firmino, half-time substitute, lays it to Milner, overruns the ball but still wins that 50-50 duel. Milner on that far side, the left, goes back to Van Dijk. Van Dijk, Wijnaldum drops deep to collect it, over the halfway line, right in the centre circle. Gomez, back to Wijnaldum, but playing in front of Red Star Belgrade. Matip, Van Dijk. As Pat called it, 4-5-1 is the formation for Red Star. Liverpool can't prize their way through at the moment, keeping a lot of the ball but lacking penetration. Here is Gomez, back towards Matip. Forward ball, Salah will shoot, turned behind by the goalkeeper, moved a little bit in the air. First meaningful chance created, 70 minutes, and Boyan concedes the corner.
Yeah, it's a sort of chance, 23, 24 yards out on his left foot that last season you expect Mo Salah to bury in the top corner. This team is actually a fairly perfunctory save for the goalie.
Corner kick on that far side. Milner swings it over, patted away by the goalkeeper with his head, clips the outside of the post. Salah, left-footed shot from just inside the penalty area, and it hits the outside of the post and goes behind for a goal kick. Much better
effort that time from Salah. He catches it well. He's not got a lot of time there, but he gets it down, second touch, almost in a half ball. He smashes it, hits the outside of the post. Keeper pretends he's got it covered. I am not convinced by that. That's a little bit of a lift for Liverpool. They haven't shown enough penetration or, most importantly, imagination in this second half, and that's not something you generally say about Liverpool, and certainly not something you said about them last season.
And yes, if they were to get a goal back as they trail 2-0, because of the quality that they possess, you still wouldn't rule them out salvaging something.
Well, at least a point. I mean, it's still a real capability, but I think they would have expected after that flourish in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half, they would have got that goal, and then all the psychology is on their side. Well, at the moment it's not. It absolutely isn't now, purely because you're looking up at the clock, and for them it's going down very, very quickly. Oh, and by the way, for the Red Star players, don't worry, it's going down very slowly for them. They are still suffering.
And a point would be so precious for Liverpool, because if Napoli were to beat Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool then would have a 3-point cushion going to Paris on match day 5. As it is, though, they're yet to even register a goal, and time is running out. 18 minutes remain. Gomez though has a throw for Liverpool, almost level with the penalty area on this near side, the right. The din continues unabated, but Firmino has allowed Juvancic to get that clearance, and Red Star are going to make their third and final change. Now this is going to be Jovicic is going to be coming on, Branko Jovicic, who primarily is a defensive midfielder. He played in the first leg. Kristijic is the player who think is coming off, so it's like for like.
Yeah,
isn't the number 7 who's coming off?
Yeah, it was actually a toss-up between the two of them who would play. I was actually slightly surprised that Jovicic wasn't actually playing. So he'll be in the middle there with Juvancic, so good luck, commentator. Getting that one right. Both of them very similar sounding.
So yeah, we've got a Jovicic and a Juvancic, and the player to go off was Kristijic. And Liverpool fans will be itching Red Star Belgrade to get a goal. They're 2-0 down, 5 live here in Belgrade. Mane waits on the right hand side, left-footed ball in towards Lallana, looks for the early cutback, goes behind, corner kick. Liverpool have won a corner through Lallana.
They could do with something from one of the big players, and when I mean the likes of Van Dijk, he's looked very dangerous the last few weeks on corner kicks. I mean, it's the one thing maybe that, you know, having watched him from back in his days at Celtic, he's so dangerous in those sort of areas. You're beginning to look at now.
Milner with a corner, right hand side it. Matip is forward, drops behind, it's gone for a goal kick, much to the delight of the Red Star supporters.
Yeah, it's still not quite taken off for Liverpool. You expect it suddenly to burst into life, but it's kind of threatened to do so in the second half, but it's never quite happened. Maybe not just enough players, and even the adaptations he's made, I think they've been negative in some ways. I keep on saying Mane was doing well in the first half. He's not done anything in the second half. It's taken him away from where he was very, very dangerous, and then stymied his opportunities to get past players.
In the context of Group C, a damaging defeat this would be for Liverpool, but they're coming forward now. Mane, Firmino ahead of him. Robertson steaming on the overlap if required. Robertson now into the penalty area. It breaks towards Firmino, tries to take it in and turn with his back to goal. Ben, though, will bring the ball clear for Red Star Belgrade in their red and white striped shirts. And now they've worked it out, and there's a break on. Juvancic, box-to-box player, has space to run into. Cross takes a deflection. Ben controls the ball. Ben pulls it back, lifted back towards the far post. Juvancic on the stretch, couldn't get there. Out of play goals for a goal kick in front of that bouncing north end. 2-0 they lead.
It was one of those breaks there. There was about 4 passes that were undeliberate, but they kept on falling through the red and white shirts, and it's one of those ones that can sometimes lead to a goal, which would have finished Liverpool tonight. They wouldn't have deserved it. They've hardly had any of the play in the second half, Red Star. But that break will slightly worry Liverpool in the fact that there is still some energy left in that Red Star midfield.
Liverpool will want Napoli to get to the 3 points against Paris Saint-Germain in Naples at 8 o'clock. Remember, Paris Saint-Germain have still got to come here on match day 6, an intimidating, a menacing stadium, where Napoli were held to a goalless draw on match day 1, and Liverpool are faring even worse, trailing 2-0. But with 15 minutes remaining, they're coming forward. Mane can't get past the defence. It was Cernic who was helping out Rodic on this near side, but Liverpool have been awarded a corner kick. Still they battle away. Mane to Milner, quickly taken in towards the penalty area. Closed down, and out for a throw. It'll go right down by the corner flag. There is a...
It doesn't look controlled at the moment with Liverpool, you know, it's just a little bit of hit and hope, and maybe that's what you have to do, you know. We're getting towards the last well past the last 15 minutes now.
Throw from Gomez, flat ball comes in from the right hand side. Juvancic will try and head it away, drops towards Milner, closed down by the Red Star players. That was Chorsic who chested it and chased after it. Activity on the bench of Liverpool, as a player of Red Star has stayed down in the penalty area, and it is going to be a stoppage in play. Yeah,
there was certainly a high boot there. I'm not convinced it was caught that bad, but because it's a alleged head knock, the referee has no choice. He has to stop the play and have a look at him. He's fine, as I suspected.
Play continues from the throw. Milner, Van Dijk has stayed forward. Header in the penalty area, headed away by Savic, headed back by Wijnaldum. Van Dijk will try and retrieve it on that far side, the left. Keeps the ball in play, but volleyed clear off the left foot of Ben. And Divock Origi is the player who is going to be coming on for Liverpool. His first appearance of the season for Liverpool.
Well, you can't see any reason why you would take off any midfielders or attackers here. Purely because Liverpool, they don't need all those 4 defenders back there just now. They probably should go to a back 3 at this point in time. It gives a chance to get Origi up front, maybe use his physique, get the ball in there.
So Divock Origi, who was on loan at Wolfsburg last season, I think he scored something like 7 goals in his 30-odd appearances. His last Liverpool appearance was against Watford, and that was some time ago. So it's his first appearance of the campaign for Divock Origi. In fact, it would have been in the opening day of last season for Liverpool. So Divock Origi, as an attacking change is about to be made. Corner, across, swept in. Played back in by Lallana. Salah waits. Salah can't stab it goalwards. Still scrambles clear. And eventually put away by Red Star Belgrade. Never hit it with any real conviction.
No, it's probably the third opportunity that he's had in the game so far. And although getting them on target, they've not been brilliant. The ball goes back to Bojan there. Panic stations in the defence. Goalkeeper just has to pick it up. Centre half is just about tackling his own goalkeeper.
So Divock Origi makes his first Liverpool appearance since August 2017. And he replaces Adam Lallana. But 11 minutes remain, and Liverpool, quite frankly, haven't done enough in the final third. And this will be a huge setback for their hopes of reaching the knockout stages.
I mean, it's massive, but I think Liverpool win this game tonight, and I honestly believe it was them and someone else goes through. Not the case now.
Gomez with a long throw. Origi couldn't flick it on. Gomez then has to go back, but he's only headed it into the path of Pavkov, who's on a hat-trick with his 2 goals in the first half. Look for some support. Chorsic has lost it, and Liverpool will win it back outside the centre circle in the hour and a half, as now Robertson collects the ball, and he comes over the halfway line. 10 minutes of normal time remain. Ball forward, Wijnaldum to Mane. Mane in the penalty area. Tries to stroke it through the legs of Rodic. Blocked. Cernic will clear. Charged down by Milner. Juvancic out towards Jovetic. Held up by Mane. Goes back, and Rodic puts his foot through that and reaches Ben. Good control on the halfway line to hold the ball up. The Comoros international, and then looks towards Branko Jovetic, but out of play it will go for a Liverpool throw. But 10 minutes remain, and Liverpool somewhere have got to try and find 2 goals in the next 10 minutes.
The spaces are there, the opportunities are there. Liverpool should be creating more chances than they have. They have created 3 or 4 in the second half. They should have done much better. Probably Mo Salah more than everyone else, but they've actually been a bit disappointed in the second half, considering they look to me as if they're playing against a team who have been on their last legs for at least the last 20 minutes.
And those last legs have just conceded another corner kick. So Liverpool have a corner on that far side, the left. 9 minutes of normal time remain, and the scoreline is exactly that as it was at the start of the second half. Milner curls it in. Header out by Pavkov. 2-0 to Red Star Belgrade. Back to Robertson. Long diagonal ball. Headed away by Chorsic. Collected by Robertson again as he runs across towards the right-hand side. Gets there ahead of a diving last-ditch challenge by Pavkov. Origi. Firmino. Plays it forward. Mane. Flag stays down. Keeps the ball in play. Takes a deflection. Prevented from going behind by Rodic for a corner. Instead it's a throw for Liverpool. But still, they are giving absolute everything for the Red Star cause.
Yeah, and the spirit has been great in that back line. None of them playing brilliantly, just all supporting each other, just clearing the lines whenever they get a chance.
Gomez with a long throw. Downward header. Salah on the far post. Stopped by the goalkeeper. The angle was very, very tight.
That's a huge miss from Gomez there. Let's be fair about it. He's got a header. He's only 4 yards out. The ball's right in front of him. We're going to see your player that can play centre-back and right back. You've got to just go attack that and take that out. By the way, talking about players in their last legs, Another Red Star player goes down in the middle of the park here. And is he claiming of... Well, he's holding his arm there, but any excuse to go down, any excuse to kill as much time as possible.
Well, they've used their 3 substitutions as well, so a potential problem for Vladan Milijevic. As again, valuable time will be taken up. The Spanish referee is just saying to him, you've got to get up, get off the field of play. You want to continue. The Red Star support has been unwavering.
There is a nervousness though, you know, the loudness it comes and goes, and when they think the team needs a little bit, they come back again, and it's not just the ultras on the left hand side, they're everywhere, they're absolutely all over the stadium, and they make some noise when they start. I suspect the last 5 minutes or so, as we go towards that, there will be a build up towards this final whistle, and if they manage to get there and get the 3 points, I think the noise will be explosive in that last few minutes, but it will carry on for a long time.
Liverpool were delighted as well by the police bringing them through on the escort. They had no complaints, they kept the supporters back, they sailed from their team hotel all the way through to the stadium earlier on, very well policed by the Serbian authorities. Maybe those at Old Trafford could heed a lesson or two from that, but they're going to leave the stadium with their tails between their legs. Oh, that was late, that was a poor challenge. There's got to be a yellow card, surely, from Milan Rodic, late on Mane.
I have to say, I think he gets the ball clean as a whistle, but it looks really dangerous. You know, he's dived at it from about 6 yards away, and once again, Premier League rules, you get a yellow card for that. You're absolutely right. But he gets a plenty of the ball when he goes in.
No action taken against the left back. 6 minutes remain. Liverpool still trail 2-0. 4-0 that Bruges lead in Monaco, by the way, in Group A. Milner with a free kick. It's drifted to the goal. It's fisted away by Bojan. It's headed back to the edge of the area. Powerful header away by Savic. Back towards those purple shirts. It spills out towards the right-hand side. Mane plays it in. Firmino is unmarked in the penalty area. Van Dijk onto the roof of the net. And another chance goes begging.
Once again, the right-hand side, get into that area. Milner's got into the byline a couple of times, put it in towards the back post. But again, those defenders either have been good enough or they've put off players like Van Dijk attacking it. Just before then, Bojan came out and punched the ball. He must have been 17 and a half yards out there. He will do anything. Had he made a mistake there, they would have lost the goal. But he hasn't made many mistakes tonight.
When I was speaking to a club official yesterday and I said this atmosphere, and I was always looking forward to it, it's going to have to go to beat the Maximir Stadium, where I remember 20 years ago they brought a helicopter in above the pitch and it hovered and whipped the crowd into a frenzy, the bad blue boys of Zagreb. And then he just said to me, he said, you've seen nothing. he says, we will have a conversation after the game. He was so right. You can hear it for yourself. They whip it back up again as Red Star still lead 2-0. Milner to Gomez, brings it under control. Gomez midway through the Red Star half. Under 5 minutes remaining. Salah with a turn, closed down by Rodic, spoons up into the air and headed away by Gobbeljic on that far side. Liverpool look to take the quick throw on the left hand side. Milner towards Robertson. Firmino on the edge of the area, cleared away by Savic at the heart of that Red Star defence.
Everything is last ditch now from the Red Star players. They don't care where it's going. You know they're just defending. They're just trying to last another 10 seconds, another 20 seconds. They can just about see the finishing line now.
But helping them reach that finishing line is this awesome support all the way from all sides of this bowl-like arena. Robertson with a low cross, left-hand side, cleared by Deganek. Shot from Wijnaldum. They're just throwing themselves in front of everything. Their defence, in fact the whole team's performance has been stoic.
Yeah, we said before the game, what do they need? Well, they need these fans, they need a spirit. And the spirit they have got from this entire group of players has been extraordinary. You know, when you see fans and players and a club in unison all together, they are so much more than some of their parts.
Origi didn't keep the ball in play. Rodic was quite happy to see him overrun it, and it goes for a goal kick. And once again, as every move breaks down, they break out into applause, and then they start singing again.
They're just counting off 20 seconds, now 30 seconds at a time. They're trying to push up here, but I don't know if I'd be doing this just now. The goalkeeper's going to take a goal kick, hits it long, but they're pushing up the field, and I'm slightly surprised about that, because that leaves a large gap for Liverpool to run into.
So Liverpool trailing 2-0, and may well be displaced at the top of Group C, with Napoli, remember, just a point behind, depending on what happens. Well, in fact, they will be replaced at the top regardless what happens. Such is the tightness of Group C, and their hopes still in the balance as Mane slips and then actually catches Rodic. What's the referee done here? Play continues nevertheless. He's just on hand to make sure that there's nothing untoward between the two players as it goes out for a Liverpool throw.
Well, Simic is down, number 14 there on the other side of the pitch. I don't know what he's wanting there. You're wasting your time, mate. The referee's not going to stop the play for you, even if it is cramp.
We have under 2 minutes of normal time remaining, and I think we're past the stage where time is running out. Liverpool still require 2 goals. Divock Origi unable to control the ball as it was played towards him. It bounces away off his left foot, runs away, and Degenek's happy to marshal it out for a goal kick. It was a very disappointing first half performance. Nothing you can do about the second goal, but the first was a poor one to concede.
It was, simple one for a corner kick. The performance problem was, I have to say, the opposition were good. They were lively, they were sharp, they fought, battle chased, did everything you would want to do. And fair enough, they got lucky once or twice. Certainly Liverpool had a couple of chances in that first half, but they couldn't argue with the 2-0. This second half, I just expected so much more from Liverpool.
Robertson looking towards Salah. Savic is there to prevent it reaching the Egyptian international, who's scored 58 goals in his last 62 appearances for club and country since last October. He's had Liverpool's 2 best opportunities, saved by the first by Boyan and clipping the outside of the post. However, those chances really did come too late in the last 20 minutes, and they've been repelled ever since by Red Star Belgrade as we enter the last 60 seconds of normal time. How much added on time there will be, but it looks like a forlorn hope. Liverpool are going to suffer a second successive away defeat in this season's Champions League, and a third on the spin away in European competition as the ball is kicked over the Athletics running track down below by Cernic. It won't waste too much time because of the multi-ball system that's in operation, and Gomez wipes the grease off the ball for a long throw. In it comes now, long way travelled, headed away by Savic. Wijnaldum, 5 minutes of added on time, which we're now into. 5 minutes of added on time as Liverpool trail by 2 goals to 0.
And that was Mane. He's just backed into the defender there. I mean, the role that they've got there that's killed a little bit of the time here, slowed down things about 5 minutes. I expected groans round here. They believe they can last it now, don't they? They think they've just about got over the threshold. 5 minutes is a long time.
Well, the 5 minutes prompted Boyan, the goalkeeper, to act as the cheerleader as he waved his hands, and the supporters certainly responded. However, they've not shut up all night. 2-0.
I would like to ask Liverpool supporters to be seated at their places.
Yeah, you look at some of the players that playing against Salah. He's had a couple of chances, but he's been a shadow of the player that we know that he is. Today, not the opportunities, not getting to the right positions.
Ball played forward towards Mane, headed away by Rodic, only as far as Firmino. Savic was there at the heart of the defence on the edge of the penalty area. Ben then makes another challenge as he was looked to be closed down by Wijnaldum. We've used the first minute of the minimum of 5. Commentary to come from Wembley. Must-win game for Tottenham against PSV. You'll be able to listen, remember, to the commentary and also watch via the red button on your television or through the BBC Sport. As the ball is into the penalty area, the cushion header by Van Dijk. The goalkeeper drops to the floor, and Savic has dropped to the floor as well with a touch of cramp, and Boyan puts the ball out of play to allow the physio to come on.
Well, he shouldn't have done that, Boyan, because he's got cramp. You might be able to do is hold the ball up for 10 or 20 seconds and they'll just play on the next. But this is what is he going to do? You know, the physio's not going to come on now. The goalkeeper's just put the ball out there. He could have killed a bit of time there. Well, rather naively, I think Robertson's given him the ball back. I don't think Ardeby would want to do that at that point in time. Very gentlemanly of him, but above and beyond the call, I think.
So for the first time, we mentioned about the defeats that they've suffered in the Champions League. The last time that Liverpool lost 3 on the spin was in 2014 in European competition. Zenit, Basel and Real Madrid. And then so much work to do for Liverpool. Away to Paris Saint-Germain next time, and then at home to Napoli on the 11th of December.
Well, Paris is not a good place, and not an easy place to go and win football matches. They haven't lost a game this season in France. Right now, you know it's panic stations for Liverpool. Van Dijk is now up playing centre forward.
2.5 minutes remain of added on time, and Liverpool still trail 2-0 here in Belgrade. Costly defeat this will be. From the throw, Milner's diagonal ball, Salah waits, might fall back towards Salah, saved by the goalkeeper Boyan, left-footed low shot, and as he lays on the floor the goalkeeper celebrates and then lifts the ball above his head.
Yeah, and he's the hero just now because he's made a couple of saves. To be fair, should they make that save? That's not a difficult save to make. It's one of those ones, if that goes in, you really question the goalkeeper. It's low, it's not enough there, but a long way from Salah. And that's 3-4 chances now in the second half that Mo Salah's had. And he only had one right, and that one hit the post, outside the post. And he'll look to himself and think he could have done a lot better tonight.
They are getting ready to celebrate. And the amount now of flashlights you can see all the way around the stadium on their mobile phones, they're ready to capture that moment. They're ready to capture the moment where Red Star Belgrade get their first win in the Champions League proper. And they will be claiming the scalp of Liverpool. 5 times winners. And they are going to have wild celebrations here in Belgrade tonight. More and more flashlights up around the stadium, because we're inside the last 45 seconds of added on time, and Red Star lead by 2-0. It very much keeps them in the mix in Group C. They could have been eliminated tonight. Milner will put the ball into the mixer. Van Dijk has stayed forward. Boyan makes the save.
You've got to give me due. He's been brilliant, hasn't he, the goalkeeper tonight? When he's had to come out and punch, he's caught everything that has been put in there. You might argue he's had the game of his life. He's done everything right at the right times, generally, and probably not as played as well as he thinks, but he's done enough.
There it is. The bench of Red Star Belgrade celebrates after a wait of 26 years being back in Europe's elite competition. They've got a victory against the mighty Liverpool by 2-0. Their first success in the Champions League proper. It's a costly defeat for Liverpool. 2 goals from Popkov in the first half. It's finished Red Star Belgrade 2, Liverpool 0, Pat Nevin.
And even though Liverpool had the vast majority of the play in the second half, they had the vast majority of the chances in the second half, and it may well be partly the atmosphere of where it's right round here. You cannot begrudge Red Star getting the 3 points. They worked so incredibly hard in the first half. They were the better side by far in that period of time. But these are a group of players who are limited in comparison. They are not a fabulous side. They have managed to come out here tonight and beat the mighty Liverpool 2-0. They should really enjoy this. They actually deserve it thoroughly.
If you can hear us in the cacophony of noise, Liverpool only had 3 shots on target, and Boyan was equal to all of them. As Liverpool now really have a lot of work to do. It's finished here in the noise of Belgrade. Red Star 2, Liverpool 0.